Okay, what's going on, guys? It's 1:14 here on a Friday. Happy Friday. So, what I've done today is simply tried to build a really quick but super helpful inventory management system. I've done two in the past, one for a single location, the other for multiple locations with inventory moving to and from, up to X amount of places. So this was designed to be super simple. You basically have only three tabs you interact with. You have the current state, and then you have inventory going out or in, and inventory going out. Based on what happens in and out, the current state updates with the amount on hand. You've got reorder triggers here. They have some conditional formatting, and then you have average dollar cost and total dollar cost of your current inventory. I've also added monthly and monthly unit in and out and dollar amount in and out. There are strong assumptions about the unit count, so you could really easily tell how much of each unit you have at any given time. The dollar value is a little bit trickier. I'm using an average cost, and then anything going out is sourcing this average cost, which is based on the inventory coming in, which should be your cost of the inventory when you buy it. So the cost here maps here based on an average, and then that also maps to the out. So you at least, it's not going to show you a revenue and cost of goods sold. What it will show you is the dollar change in your inventory in and out month to month. So it's fairly useful for monthly changes in unit count and dollar value. But we're going to walk through step by step, and I've also got instructions and summaries in each of these boxes to explain it even in more detail. So let's just start. So on the current state, this is where you're going to enter a unique list of all your item numbers. So you've got your UPC and SKUs here. I basically have built this to handle 1,200 rows of unique SKUs. It could easily go more. All you have to do is add more at the bottom if you have more unique SKUs, and then just drag down the formulas as far as you want on each of the out, in, and current state tabs. Now the point is that this is supposed to be super simple and really structured and clean, so you can use it. So that's what I've tried to do is keep all the headers the same or relatively the same on what has to be on the in and out and the current state tabs. So anyway, you put in your unique list of things here. This should have no repeating values because you want the current state of each unique item. Now on the out and in tabs, you will have unique or repeating values, like A1 could be here and here and here because you've got different dates and times where you're buying it and it's coming in. Now, we've also got on the current state, you've got description and a couple other fields here, as well as the starting balance. Now, the description and other fields you put in once here, and as you pick a SKU, these fields will update. So for A1, let's say I do, big and green, just whatever. You can see that will populate here, and then same as in if I choose here, you see it's automatic. If we add another one for A2, let's say yellow, up, down. So let's say on that you're gonna have some inventory coming in for A2. You just go A2. You see that auto populates, and then you could put in your quantities and dollar costs. So that's that. Then the starting balance. This is so if you end up having too many lines and you need to clear out the out and in, you can simply take your on hand at the end of whatever period you are and copy and paste those values into starting balance, and then simply clear out your out and in, and then start adding new out and ins. And that's just if you have like 20 I don't know, like 100,000 rows, and you want a current state snapshot, and then you want to start adding new transaction data. So that this column gives you the ability to do that. Also, if you, let's say you're going to start using this Excel template, and you have inventory that you've entered here, and it has a starting balance that you don't want to go through and enter on the in tab. You just want to say, look, this is how much I've got right now. Then you can simply put that here, and then based on your in and out for different SKUs, you'll have a certain on-hand amount. And then the final kind of functionality on the current state is the reorder trigger, and this is anything in this color shade on any tab is what you're going to manually put. Anything in white are all formulas. So the last one we have on the current state is your reorder trigger. So this is going to say if your reorder trigger is equal to or greater than the on hand, it will go up. So let's say, okay, my order trigger, I want here to be 4. So that's saying if my on hand gets down to 4, and this is going to populate this color. I've also got a filter here, so you could filter like all yes and no's if you want to see all inventory that is reordered. So column J is for that. We'll get into multiple items here in a second. If say the reorder trigger is 5, basically anything that's 4 or greater will trigger this. If your reorder trigger is 3, then it's saying, well, you got 4 on hand, so you don't need to reorder. That's the logic there. Okay, so let's do some. Let's clear this. Let's do a couple transactions so you can see exactly how it works. Okay, so current state. Let's clear all of this. And if you leave this blank, it won't do anything. You only have to fill in the reorder trigger if you want. Okay, so we've got SKU A1 entered. We're going to do our descriptions. So let's do green, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's say this is going to start with a balance of 10 units. So it says currently I have 10 on-hand units of A1. And then let's say we've got A2, let's do yellow, red, blue, and these other fields don't matter for the purpose of the test. And let's say starting balance here is going to be 5, 7, and then, I don't know, 50. Say reorder triggers are going to be, let's make it less, so 5, 2, 4, 20. Okay, so I've entered some inventory here. I've put some things about when I want to reorder it, and I've put the starting balance. Now, let's say we have some purchases. We buy A2 item on the January 2nd, 2018. You see it, here's our description of A2, which is right, yellow. Let's say we buy 1,000 at an average cost of $3. Now, what's going to happen? Well, the current state will add 1,000 to the starting balance, and it should say the total value is going to be $3 times the total unit cost. So it's actually going to be more than 3,000 since we already had 10 in there. So let's look at it. So current state of A2, it's now saying we have 1,005 on hand. Oh, that's because we started with 5, not 10. So starting balance was 5. We just added 1,000. So 1,005. Obviously, it's not gotten to a reorder trigger. And our average dollar cost per unit is $3, so it's saying the total cost is $3,015. Now I do have this here for our total current inventory value, just simply sums column I. We could actually put that up here. Just put a note. On here, total value of inventory, which will change as you have it coming in and out. So 2015. Alright, so now let's say same SKU, let's pick A2 here. let's say on April 1st, 2018, we're going to actually have, let's see how much was on here. I want it to trigger. So let's say we have 1,004 units leave. Let's format this real quick. Okay, so we have 1,004 units leaving. How is that going to update the state? Well, look at that. We actually now only have one on hand because we had 5 to start. We added 1,000, and we removed 1,004. So net minus 4 from 5 equals 1 on hand. Triggers our reorder of 2. So this is going to highlight, and if we just want to show that one, we could just filter for yeses, and it would just show that one. And that's how it works. And I mean, it's pretty simple when you look at one, but if you're talking about trying to track hundreds of different SKUs that have, multiple daily transactions, it gets hard. So that's where this comes in, is you have your record here of everything that's happening in the current state. Now we also have the count of monthly summary. So you can see here we've got a starting amount, which current state, right, because we have multiple here. So 72, and then it's going to show what's happening. You're going to enter your start month here, and then that goes out for, I think I'd put it out for a lot of years, but you could just make this go out as 1 year at a time, and every year you update to a new year, and you just do 12 months at a time. That's fine. So it's saying, we started with 72, we added 1,000, 1,000, nothing happened. Then in April we had 1,004 units leave, so it's saying there's 68 units left. Now this isn't super helpful because it doesn't tell you what units were what SKU. That could easily be added, and I can do all kinds of customizations if you want me to work on it for your specific business. Simply, my rate's $50 an hour. But again, I'm trying to just do something that's broad and works for everybody. So at least you can see what units are leaving and coming in. This could represent sales units. It could just represent a general. You want to see the flow of total units in and out, regardless of type. That's what this does. Now, dollar value is a little bit different because you can see here, it's only going to go by the month that's there. So we got 3,000 coming in. That's because of this amount here, because we had 1,000 units purchased for $3,000, or $3 per unit, so 3,000. Then nothing happened, and then April we had 3,012 leave, because that's going to go look at your out. It's going to have, well, you sold 1,004, so 3,012 is leaving, and now you actually have more leaving than coming in over the 4 months for that one SKU. Now here's where this comes in handy, is you can look at the aggregate effect of all your SKUs on a monthly basis. So as we add more SKU things happening, the aggregate numbers become a little bit more helpful because it shows you, what is going on a consolidated level. Okay, so let's do one more. So let's say we've got SKU, let's do A1, do the same month here, and let's say we've got 25 in, a cost of, I don't know, $15. So now A1, we started with 10, we just added 15, so now it's got 35 on hand. Obviously our reorder trigger is not hit. Average cost of $15, $525. Then let's say, alright, we pick A1 again. And on these, the in and out, I've used validation, so you won't pick the wrong, manually write in a wrong code. And that validation is based on whatever is put in the column A here. So I picked A1. Now you can manually write in, like I could write in A1. It will come through as long as that is represented in the current state. If I pick something that's not, you can see it gives me an error. So that's just to help your user entry people not to have errors. so that you can do clean reporting on the current state. Okay, let's say this also happened on 4/1. Let's say month straight down, or 4/2, and let's say now we have, how many did we have come in? We had 25 in. Let's say we got 15 leaving. So now we look at the current state of A1. It says we have 20 on hand. Does that make sense? Yes, it does, because we had 10. We added 25, so that's 35. Then we removed 15, so we should have 20, which is right there. Our average cost is $15. So the current inventory value is 300, which is just doing 20 on hand times 15. Total inventory value 303. Now, here you see the net effect is $138 to the positive, meaning the value of the inventory coming in is a bit greater than the value of inventory coming out. Again, this is not super useful, but I thought, you know, hey, let's just do a monthly dollar in and out summary, just something to show aggregate data. It could be useful when you have a whole bunch of things happening, though, like I said. Now here's our monthly inventory counts. So that aggregates. So you got a total of 1,025 coming in of units, which is just doing these two. You can see 1,025, and then coming out, we had 1,019. There's your 1,019 in April. And that all is based on whatever date you enter in the in and out. And then the current state is just based on the in and out right now. How much inventory do you have on hand for every SKU? And that's the main value of this. And that's why it's inventory management template. Now you can see, let's say our reorder trigger for this was 25. That's going to highlight. And now if we filter yeses, it'll show both of those only. Let's show, I want to show one more transaction. So let's look at the current inventory value of $303. Okay. So let's say we now have let's see what had some, so let's say A3 now, and month is going to have 500 come in at $1. So now that should raise the inventory, the value of inventory up to 800, and there we go, perfect, 810. Now let's say we have some more leave. So let's say A3. Let's do in March. Let's pick a different month. So let's say 250 leave. So now it should go down by 250. So we should be at 810. We just now reduced it by 250. So let's see what it is. 560. So is that 250 less? I think so. Let's see, 560, 660, 760, 810 would be 250 more. So yes, that is the right number. Now let's see why. So there's the 250 in March going out. It's coming in January. We also have that coming in January. That's a big one. So overall, we've had 38.75 come in and this much leave. The net effect of that is $388. So in theory, it's saying at the end of April, your current inventory value is $388. However, we have some starting balances that haven't had anything happen here, so that's why it's $560. Now, if we take that away, let's see, we need to keep that. So 560. Let's see, 315.1. Just trying to see how we solve for, so 388. We should be, and why is this that much different? Trying to think here. So we added 3,875 and we subtracted 3,487. Oh, starting balance. Let's remove this. Oh, there we go. Right, and that makes sense. So if we don't have a starting balance, then our net is 388, which should match this at all times because it's just doing it in and out. Now, if we have a starting balance, then this total inventory amount is going to take that into account, and it will be different. So I'll leave this in the template for, actually, let's clear all this. So when you actually, if you purchase a template, this will all be ready to go, square one. You don't have to worry about removing anything. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. Let's put these back in. 2, 3, 4, and you have a really clean inventory management tool here. Taking a little bit of a different approach compared to the other two I've built. No, if you do purchase this one or any of the other two inventory models, you'll have access to any of them. So if you buy one of the other ones, you'll get access to the downloads of this one and the other two, or that one in this one and the other one. Because you'll go to one download, end up going to one download page, and that download page will have all of the links to download all of them. So just pay one time, $45. That's all I charge, and you get access to all three of them, or just one of them, whatever you want to download. It's up to you. All right, this is smarthelping.com. Have a great day.